Dating 101, dating mistakes. These are common dating mistakes, and they are made probably because in the moment they feel like it's the right thing to do, but then after the fact, after reflecting, you realize that maybe not so much. So, everybody's different, and it's important to remember that everybody's different. So you can't always try the same things with different people because you're going to get different results, and they may not ever be good. So pay attention to what you're doing to cause whatever it is that's making you unsuccessful at dating, and fix it. It's not that difficult. It's important to always learn lessons, because until you learn a lesson, you're going to keep repeating the same mistakes. It's a fun fact for you. Okay, so number 1, rushing into commitment. This happens a lot because we live in a instant gratification world, and our mindset is that if it doesn't happen right now, it's not worth it. So we kind of force certain things, certain scenarios. Entering into committed relationship is one of those that you do not want to do until you're really sure and ready. Don't do it. You may feel pressured. If you feel pressured, walk away. Because you have to do what's best for you and what's right for you. Rushing into a committed relationship because maybe you don't think you're going to find anybody better, or who knows. But don't do it. Take your time. It takes time to get to know somebody. I always tell people, you have to go through some shit together before you really know somebody. And it's true. When you go through stuff, then you know what somebody's made of. And it's easier to make a logical and, rational decision, and you're not basing it just on emotions, because emotionally driven solutions are never really good. You have to have some logic, and you have to have some thought and some, real truth with yourself before you can make certain decisions. And that is one of them. Okay, moving on. Communication. It's usually misinterpretation. Because when you're getting to know somebody, that's part of getting to know somebody, is learning how to communicate with them effectively. And that takes time. And, oftentimes because of our past situations and our past relationships, we tend to, kind of either overcompensate or undercompensate with communication. So that's number 2. And number 3 is sharing. This goes both ways. Oversharing or undersharing. Both are equally as detrimental to a possible relationship. Usually it's too much sharing. There's chemistry involved with, relationships, brain chemistry. And if you share too much, you're taking away some of the mystery. And when you remove the mystery and the person loses interest because that dopamine is not being replenished, that's usually what it is. But make sure not to overshare. But also don't have that wall up, because if you put that wall up and somebody feels like they always have to go fishing to get anything out of you, that's equally as frustrating. Well, that's more frustrating than being overshared with, but it is equally detrimental. And then there is the, being too possessive towards somebody, or too comfortable with, kind of taking over their life, if that makes sense. It's not a good thing. And again, it's forcing an issue, forcing a relationship. You can't force something that has to grow organically. You can't. It's like planting a tree and you want it to be, a full-grown tree in a week, and you're out there, yelling at it and screaming at it because it's not growing fast enough. It takes time. And as you're going through the learning process, learning the person and understanding them and getting to know them, you talk yourself out of certain things, or you talk yourself into certain things, commitment, blah, 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 or you talk yourself out of it and you want to run away because you're frustrated. So it's all detrimental. And if you don't take your time to get to know somebody and you don't go through some stuff with them, you're not really going to know them. And that's, not good. What are you in such a hurry for? Ask yourself that. Come on. And then, there's a lot of things that can hurt your chances of being successful in dating. These are the most common, and that means that more people are doing them. And so they're, but they're not learning lessons. If you don't learn the lessons, you're not going to move forward. And learning the lesson is always a positive, and it's always a way to level up as a person. Once you learn a lesson, you get to level up. So try it. There's always a lesson there. Sometimes you have to dig for it, but there's always a lesson. So those are the most common mistakes. Oh, and one more. I almost forgot. Not over a previous relationship, so you are actually, projecting things onto somebody because you have not fully healed from a previous relationship. So you're projecting, and maybe, outwardly so, or it's, it could be kind of subtle, but either way, you're kind of putting your past into your present, and that's a no-no. Can't do that. You have to get over the past, and you have to forgive the past so you can learn the lesson so you can move forward. Don't drag it forward with you. Nobody wants to all of a sudden have a bunch of old luggage that they have to, clean up. No. Don't drag it forward. Learn a lesson from your previous mistakes and your previous relationships and be a better person and move forward. But do not bring it up, and do not project the past on the present. It's a mistake, and it will never work. So there you have it. Those are some of the common mistakes that people make. And like I said, the biggest thing is you have to learn the lessons from each of the mistakes you make. You have to learn the lesson. Once you learn the lesson, you're going to stop making the mistake, and you can level up as a person. You become better and more self-confident. So try it. Good luck.